the polynomial function defined by p of x equals x cubed plus x squared minus 8x minus 12 has x minus 3 as one of its linear factors. What are all and only the zeros of p? I have a bothersome cat walking over my iPad right now. Here are so here's what this means. If this is, we want to be able to factor this thing down. This is the goal, and there are two very, very easy ways to do this, and then one more rigorous way. So the goal is we have a series of three binomials, maybe. One of them is x minus 3, and the other one is whatever they are. The other two binomials, we don't know what they are. Well, pardon me, what's going on in this house? So one of those, these are the factors of x cubed plus 8x, or plus x squared minus 8x minus 12. We know one of them. So if we know one of them, we know that x has to be 3 because x minus 3 is a factor. So x could be 3. That's one of the zeros of the function. What that means is a and b are not options. The only two options are c or d. Here's a very easy, not terribly mathematically rigorous way to solve this then. We're just going to test these two. One of these has to be right. One of C or D has to be right. I'm going to plug in 2 into the equation and see what happens. The reason I'm plugging 2 in instead of negative 2 is just fewer chances to make mistakes. So if I'm cubing or squaring a negative number, I just don't want to take any risks of mistyping something. So instead, I'm just going to do this calculation. 2 cubed plus 2 squared minus 8 times 2 minus 12, and I'm going to get negative 16, which means 2 is not a solution, and the solution has to be C. I'm going to show you another way, because if you're taking this test online, you have this powerful tool called Desmos, and we'll show you how to work Desmos here in a second. Here's Desmos. It's a powerful graphing calculator that you have built in to this testing experience you're going to have if you're testing online, and I assume you are. I'm going to type in this equation, x squared plus, or 8x cubed plus x squared minus 8x minus 12. And look what this thing does for me. It graphs the equation. It just graphs it. And I can just move it around, zoom in, zoom out. And I can also click on this thing and see what my zeros are. My zeros are 3, which I already knew, and negative 2. Negative 2 is my answer. So just in the act of, I might not even know how to solve this, but I know how to type it into Desmos and read the graph. My answer is going to be that zeros are negative 2 and 3. My answer is C. Nicely done. The other rigorous way to solve this would be to start with our equation, x cubed plus x squared. And the reason I'm showing you this is if you can do the math, if you understand the math, you can, it might be faster to do this than it would be to type it into Desmos. I don't know how comfortable you are typing in this stuff, but we're going to use this thing called synthetic substitution, or synthetic division, I beg your pardon. And I'm going to take that equation, I'm going to write all of the coefficients down, and I'm going to write down also my 0. I know x minus 3 is a factor, so I'm going to put in 3. And I'm just reminding you, I'm not teaching you how to do this. I'm reminding you, if you already know how to do it, to find another factor. If we're dividing this thing, this original equation by x minus 3, which is in effect what we're doing. We're dividing this original equation by x minus 3. I'm going to write down my coefficients, write down my 3 over here, my first 0 that I know about, and then copy down the first coefficient. Then 3 times 1 is 3. I'm adding down to get 4. 3 times 4 is 12. adding down to get 4 again. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus negative 12 is 0. What this means then is my next, when I divide x cubed plus x squared minus 8x minus 12 by x minus 3, I'm going to get x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now, I may remember how to factor this using my a times c method on top, or 4, and my b method on bottom, 2. And I'm going to get these numbers over here, 2 times, this is 4. I'm thinking ahead. There we are. And so my factors are going to be x plus 2 times x plus 2, which means my 0 would be negative 2. If that all made sense to you, that's great. It's a whichever method is fastest for you, either plugging a number into a calculator or throwing this whole thing into Desmos or doing the synthetic substitution or synthetic division. They all work. They all get the answer C.